All right, welcome to the UnPack Pittsburgh Podcast. Today I have with me Jimmy Big Muscles, and we are going to kind of dive into kind of three different areas of your life, for professional life, that is.
Awesome.
So thanks for being on the show again. You were a co-host, we'll call it, and you were in plenty of features, one of which got dropped today, the VR one.
Yeah, the VR. I was MVP, by the way.
I was a low-hanging fruit. I gave that one to you. He was MVP. There was 4 people who played, and I was the last. But so why don't you kind of, for people who might not have seen the other episodes where you kind of gave a little intro, why don't you kind of tell them about yourself? We know that you have Jimmy Big Muscles, then you have DJ Jimmy Space 412, and then you also have like kind of a marketing agency. So without getting too deep, but I want you to just give a little roundabout answer on who you are.
First off, thanks for having me back on again. It was cool to have my episode. You know, it was awesome being a co-host.
That's right.
Twice
You're
now,
actually the
or almost
best
3
co-host.
times.
I've never had a better co-host ever. There's not another co-host
Watch
I
out,
can
my
think of.
sister's gonna get mad at that one.
That's gonna get edited out real quick.
But no, it's awesome being on here. UnPack is definitely gonna be something awesome and great here in Pittsburgh, especially, and it's really cool to be part of these podcasts. I love it. I love being called on. So thank you.
Sure.
So my stuff, I guess, to start off with Jimmy Big Muscles. So Jimmy Big Muscles started about almost 4 years ago now, and started off with just some videos on TikTok that gained a lot of views, a lot of traction, and it just kept going from that. Everything I focus on is all Italian content. I like to focus just mainly on, you know, like my family's culture, my family's tradition, and just that real Italian culture. I love it, and it's kind of hard to find sometimes. It's pretty. You'd think it's not very common, but I discovered being online and all my followers that there's a lot of people that relate to it, and you know, I got a lot of awesome experiences off of it. I got to go up to New York a bunch of times. I was in a music video with Irama. It's the Pum 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 video. Awesome. Growing up Italian, had so many cool memories with them. Sabino and all them. Shout out. They're awesome. Had a huge, helped me out a ton getting started, show how to turn this really into something, because it was really cool. I just kept making more videos, cooking a lot, and traveling, and I just kept seeing those followers just keep going up and up and up, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. You know, it started off as just something that was, you know, not so serious, but now it's what I do. You know, this is my thing, and I love it. I couldn't be more grateful. It's awesome. And then besides the cooking and everything, we're gonna talk more about that in a bit, but yeah, I DJ too.
That's it.
And that's it's a lot of fun. That
Cooking
actually
and
started.
DJ. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing.
Cooking and DJing. I saw one video of this one guy. He cooks and DJs at the same time. You know, I don't want to rip off his idea, but that would be a cool video.
Right, and a pot in the left.
but no, it's awesome. I love DJing. I started that also about that one a little bit longer, about five years ago. You know, whenever I was a freshman in college, I remember I was making sure I got all my, or is it 6 years ago now? I don't know. Losing track of the time a little bit, but
all bleeds together.
But yeah, it was cool. I remember getting all my equipment locally here. My uncle Joe helped out a lot. My dad helped out so much. Cool. And then one DJ right here, his name's Steve Maffey. Okay. He helped so much getting started too. I actually went with him to a few jobs and show me all the equipment. Mentor. Yeah, because I wanted to DJ really bad, and if you ever want to, it's like getting started is that's such a hard part because you need so much equipment. Sure. You know, I mean, you know, with podcasting, you have to get all the microphones and everything. Crazy. Like, there is so much different equipment and everything that you need to get. So, like, I already had a turntable that I would practice on in my room, but I was like, okay, well, I need this.
Could they hear it? Like, could your parents hear it?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. So they.
Oh,
should
my
get an
parents
award.
they're used to music coming from someplace.
Okay.
You know, my dad plays the drums, and he was in bands and everything, and so they're used to it. I always had the guitar.
We should get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he would be cool on the podcast.
He's like a designer. He's a teacher. He's like a musician. He's like a.
He does a little bit of everything, right?
He's really a spy. That's what I told your sister. I think he's actually
You're not supposed
a
to say
spy.
that.
like that sounds fake. His name's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, no. So I mean, it's awesome, and DJing too. That's a growing business for me. I love it. Do private events, club events, and it's cool. It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah, and then
The agency.
The agency. Yes, the marketing agency. Right now, it's still kind of part of Jimmy Big Muscles, and it's like one of the avenues that Jimmy Big Muscles has been opening up for me. So I went to school at La Roche for marketing, and so I have the marketing background already. I worked a year as the marketing manager at a prosthetics and orthotics business here in Pittsburgh. So I have the marketing base, and I was already doing some social media marketing for some small businesses here, or not even small businesses. Penn Mac, I'll name it. Penn Mac, Il Pizzaiolo, Dom's Pizzeria. I've been running a lot of social media accounts, plus my own accounts, and I've gotten really good at making videos that hit, like really just good aesthetic videos. So that's my specialty. And
do you know? I have to ask for someone who does not have that skill set at all. Do you know, like when you're making it, is this gonna hit, or is it like literally like throwing? There's a pun in this. Spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks. Like, is it like?
I mean, you definitely have an idea, like when some will and some won't.
Okay.
But I think you get caught off guard more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Elena, talking about Elena, she always is. She like motivates me, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't post it if it's not perfect yet, and she's like, no, just post it. You need consistency. Like, just keep posting, post. Yeah. So she helps out, and sometimes it's those posts that you don't think are real crazy. I mean, we were just talking today on the phone. There's this one video I had. It was my nanny's chicken cotoletta. It's like chicken cutlets.
Okay.
And
thanks for
she makes hers super thin, like way thinner than any of you guys could even imagine if you haven't seen my videos. It's like as thin as this like glass right here. And there's already this like movement, I guess. It's like a trend on TikTok with Italians where like, oh yeah, I like it as thin and as crispy as possible. And I'm like, no one's is as thin as my Nana's chicken cutlet. And I just ripped it open. And that was the whole entire video. Like, I make these really intricate videos sometimes with all this editing, all this, like, components involved. Like, a video like that, I don't know exactly what numbers it hit. But, I mean, it was in the millions. So it's like something that you don't even think sometimes hits. It's just, I think the most important part is just you have to know how to create almost like a wave and keep it going, and that's like the trick.
Consistency, you mean?
Consistency, but consistency with like good content too.
Good content,
and then like giving like supporting content too, like along with it. Like you have your grabbing content, and then you have your content. That's
I've seen your sister like do well for UnPack when she like adds the collaborators. And I've seen her some stuff where she's just killing on her own, but like I also feel like adding a collaborator secondary business or company and you tap into their community seems to be a way to go.
No, the collaborators help so much. Like I was saying when I go up to New York all the time, when we go up to New York, there's a lot of guys that we're getting our start with, and they, we were all about the same followers or so, but we would all just make videos together. And it's like whenever we were making the videos together, we would help each other so much more, because then there would be
people helping people.
It's like getting say somebody has 300,000, another person has 300,000. You make a video together, that reach is way more than as if just one person.
300,000. Most people watching this, we can't imagine what it's like to have 300. I could give money out. I wouldn't be able to contact 300,000 people. So if you were going, before we kind of delve deep into some of the other stuff, like for content creators, or I hate the word influencers, but people who aspire to be an influencer, which I'll call content creator, What kind of advice would you give someone? Because most people are probably more in like friends, family, depending on how old they are. They might have had high school, college, so they might be like 1,000, couple thousand, or less. Yeah. Like, what would you give someone who kind of wants to kind of get into the content creation game?
Finding your niche is the name of the game. I think personally, like if I had just general content, or I mean, like my Italian content hit, and like that's what I wanted to create anyway. So like that went perfect for my account, but I stayed with it too. Yeah. Like if I started the day after I made, especially at the beginning when you're growing, it's like once you have more followers, then you have more, I guess, leeway to do things. But and to like grow in different directions.
Also feel like once you hit certain milestones.
Yeah, it's time to grow and change. But at the beginning, if I started making videos about I play lacrosse, if I started making lacrosse videos, while I was starting to gain that traction, it could have thrown it off. Okay. On TikTok at least. Yeah. Instagram's a little different, but.
So first of all, I'm gonna give a shout out to Christopher Lockhead. He wrote a phenomenal book. It's called Niche Down. Mm-hmm. He's a category design, the godfather of actually category design. But fantastic. Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of Italian jokes. But it's all about like niching down and like owning your own shit, right? So it sounds like that's what your advice is. Does it get to a point? So you've been doing, the cooking and very focused on the Italian type style cooking. At some point, do you get caught into a box? Like, how does someone so now you're like successful, you know what I mean? So like, if you want, obviously you're jumping on podcasts with me and your sister, and we certainly appreciate that. So you're getting out of that box, we'll call it. Yeah. How do you like if you wanted to start, we'll keep using Elena as an example. Yeah. Like she likes travel and fashion. Like what happens? Like you got a very fashionable shirt on. What happens all of a sudden you want to start showing them, talking about some swag and some shit like that. How does that, how do you translate and progress to that?
I feel like everything you can connect at some point if that's what your passion is. Because eventually, I mean,
does your audience
I think you have,
like, you know what I mean?
I mean, even if they do, some people, I don't think they really will. But even if they do, you have to realize that the brand isn't what you. Like your idea of the brand. The brand's you. It's yourself is the brand. Like to be an influencer or a content creator. At the end of the day, like Jimmy Big Muscles, you could connect that to like cooking and all, and it is connected to that. It's connected to my family and our dinners and everything. But at the end of the day, it's like it's you. It's me. I'm the brand. And like obviously my Nana's a huge part of the brand too. I mean, like we're like.
Is it her birthday that's coming up or just happened?
No. That was my Mimi's birthday.
Yes, I was gonna say that was a big one.
It was. Yeah, 80th birthday.
That's
to my
pretty
Mimi.
wild.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Awesome. So you guys went to a restaurant for that, right?
It was a banquet hall. I didn't set it up. My uncles and my dad set it up. But
cool.
But it was really nice. Yeah.
Nice. Hey.
Yeah, it was a great celebration.
Yeah. I mean, well, how old?
80 years old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not making it to 80. I'm not on the right track to make it
that's
to 80.
That's not a good mindset.
I'm sorry, guys. Someone's got to pick up after 70.
No, it was great celebrating that, and I have some videos with my Mimi in it too. Cause
that's awesome.
Yeah, she cooks just as much as my Nana does.
Very cool.
And it's awesome. I have this lemon chicken recipe that she makes. That's so good. It's so good. She like melts this butter, puts lemon in, and puts it over this fried chicken. It's so good.
Nice. Yeah. So speaking of recipes, I know you're not going to tell us the real recipe, what's going to happen, but you're going to be featured on the local news Thursday, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah. On Thursday, I'll be on PTL. So Pittsburgh Today Live. That's on the CBS channel, WPXI. Nice. Yeah. So. I'm really excited. So it's going to be my second time on there.
So do they just say like, hey, we want this type of dish, and then you create from there? How does that work? What does the relationship with the news look like?
So, you talk to a producer about it, and we decided that we're going to do like a summer pasta recipe. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, perfect for this time of year. And
sure.
So I'm going to create a light, easy to make summer pasta recipe. I was torn between two.
Okay.
And one.
Can you say the one that you're not going to do?
Yeah, I was gonna do spaghetti.
This is gonna come on.
I was
after,
gonna
anyways,
I was gonna do spaghetti and clams.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's good. Okay.
I mean, I love it. You know, it's a great dish. But then I was thinking,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
I was
post this
like-
Friday because we're drinking.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
it's like this
yeah.
is the happy hour podcast for
Yeah.
UnPack.
This is the
Cheers.
happy hour
Hey,
podcast.
Jimmy Big Mouth.
Cheers.
By the way,
But-
this is like the smallest straw. You can't.
I know.
like,
I keep trying to sip it out of
There's
here.
been too many clips.
I gave up in one
I'm
sip
gonna
and
give up
just
the
started
straw,
drinking
actually.
it.
So, all right. So, food. We talked about the food.
Mm-hmm.
Your Instagram and TikTok are awesome when it comes to that kind of stuff. Let's kind of transition over to the DJ spot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, tell us a little bit about that. Like, I mean, what is it like to be a DJ in Pittsburgh?
Being a DJ in Pittsburgh is pretty good. It's nice. You know, I mean, obviously it's not like Miami or New York,
Sure.
but it's not it's not in the middle of nowhere either. I mean, it's still a nice city. It's cool. We have multiple different colleges here. I mean, my start really, I started DJing in some college bars up at Pitt.
Okay, so you did Pitt and you did West Virginia.
Yes. I was at WVU a few times, and that was great.
Oh, Mountaineer.
Yeah, I mean they I don't want to say who parties better, them or Pitt, but I think it's pretty obvious.
I mean,
Yeah, WVU knows how to party a little bit more.
If you just look at which college was ranked number one party school the most out of the two, like, hey, I'm all for Pitt, but come on, you don't burn couches at Pitt.
You don't have to convince kids at WVU to go out
on a Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday night. It's like, oh, the club's open. Okay, the club's open.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm a big Mountain
No,
fan.
it was awesome. Those are, I love DJing for college kids, especially. They
do you have a preference? So like, if you do, like, I know you're doing like a country club party at the yacht. You know what I mean, like stuff like that. And then you do like nightclubs and bars. Is there like, obviously, depending upon where you're going, is the type of set list or like the music you're going to play the genre. What's your type of favorite genre? Like when you're like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Because if I was a DJ, which couldn't be farther from a DJ, like I know what type of music that I would be like jamming to. But if you start having me play like some other music I don't like, I'm like, it'd be hard to get into.
Right. And I feel like that's a big part of being a DJ though, is being able to show up at a party where like, okay, like this music that they want today is not something that I like or listens to. So, you know, maybe you have to do a little bit of research, download a little bit of music and figure out, okay, like what am I going to get? And I think a lot of people
gonna tolerate these 3 hours.
Yeah. And then a lot of people, they say, you know, they think the DJ's a jukebox and they'll come up and they'll be like, hey, hey, can you play this song, play this song, play this song? And
I'm going to buy this online I have to buy it before we post this. But I've always wanted to be I used to say this. I went to Coachella and I've done the Stagecoach in San Diego and Vegas. I've been to many clubs where there's a great DJ. Ironically, Carl Cox. I'm not sure if you ever know who that is.
Oh yeah.
But like that was one of the most fun times. Shout out to Greg Osley. He was my business partner at the time. He took me there. Oh man, it was like chain. I was like that was like my big house music type thing. But I want to be called DJ Push Play. Right. That was my name, DJ Push Play. I was just gonna push play and just start dancing. But
just have like what, a pre-recorded set.
Exactly. I wouldn't do anything. I would just dance, drink, and dance. And drink.
I mean, if you're, I know some DJs are like, if you're big enough where you're doing festivals and stuff, I guess you already know what you're gonna play no matter what. But I do not.
There was another one.
People ask me, they're like, "What are you gonna play after this song?" And it's like most of the time, if you come up to me like. And like, what are you playing next? I'm like, I'm about to pull it up.
There's
there's
an Eminem song about being a DJ. You should listen to it. But what kind of music do you like? Like, what's your favorite?
So like
genre? What if you're gonna pick? Couple favorite songs?
It's been changed. When I first started DJing, I was definitely like more EDM focused. And
that makes sense,
and I was like, and I think that's what a lot of DJs are in when they first start off. And I'm like, oh, this is like what I like. And obviously, though, like when a lot of the places you DJ when you first start aren't gonna be a club that plays EDM the whole entire time. So you have to, not classic rock, but you know, like just think of like a bar that's like in the middle between, like they're still dancing, but it wouldn't be appropriate for it to be full like big house music.
Yeah,
like,
I got you. Okay. It's kind of like maybe hip hop or something.
Yeah. So I think now my style mainly is it still is EDM bass if I could play whatever I want. EDM bass, but I throw in a lot of like throwback jams. I like it. Okay. And I like to mix it in where it you know, like I'll do some mashups with I'll do like I do a lot of 90s like rap. I like a lot of 90s rap, and I mix that in with newer rap too. That's like remixed, and then I'll have a mashup like that'll go into some like 70s song. Yeah, that's like, cool. So like when I was at that one gets people dancing, you know. I
don't think it was Coachella. It might have been like Life is Beautiful or whatever. One of those. But they did a mashup with oh my gosh, Summertime Sadness. Oh my gosh, that was like life changing. I'm not sure. Everything. No, see, that's full cylinders that night.
Yeah, that's what I love. Do
you know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah,
but if you were gonna get into the car, like right now, like when you leave here, what kind of music do you put on?
See, that's I listen to all different types of stuff in the car.
Sure.
I feel that's like the hardest.
Do you listen to country? I feel like country wouldn't be something a DJ plays.
No, I don't really listen to country that much.
I called that one. Okay.
I don't really listen to country that much.
Like
no.
You get out there and playing like Kenny Chesney.
No. Although, like I said, you gotta be you gotta be able to adjust on the fly.
Do you like Eminem?
I did before.
Are you an Eminem fan?
No, I'm not. Yeah, out of all like I'm just
a big Eminem fan.
Yeah, I'm
not.
Do
you like Jelly Roll?
Yeah, I'm not a big Eminem.
Do you know Jelly Roll is?
No.
Oh my God,
Jelly World.
You're the brother to your sister because she doesn't know either. All right, well, Eminem and Jelly Roll are fantastic. So is Bruce Springsteen. You know who Bruce Springsteen is?
Oh yes, I know.
Bruce Springsteen. He's coming to Pittsburgh in September. I'm going to both shows.
There you go.
Both shows. I'm a big Bruce fan. All right, so we talked about food. We talked about DJing. Now let's talk about the marketing agency a little bit. So.
Awesome.
What do you do for companies? And if you're a company out there who's looking to kind of grow social media, what do you want them to know about you? So
with the marketing agency, because now I'm doing Jimmy Big Muscles in the marketing and the DJing full time. And, I love it. I'm completely self-employed now. But
that's cool.
It is. I love it. The marketing agency, though, it's like I take everything I learned from like the traditional marketing and marketing for the business I used to work for and everything, and I mesh that with all the success I've had with Jimmy Big Muscles, and how I like grew that account, and I'm able to put them together, and I have like the perfect combination of being able to grow people's social accounts. That's and great. It's starting off only with a lot of Italian businesses, and a big reason for that is just because of Jimmy Big Muscles, because I'm able to feature them while I'm working for them too. So it's like they get kind of a bundle, they get a influencer that has about like over 300,000 followers, and their socials are being marketed to at the same time.
Instagram, not even TikTok.
Yeah, so it's like it comes together. Like we were just talking about collaboration posts. Like I'll make collaboration posts with the businesses I work with, and it does.
One of our best ones was with you. We collabed with one of your businesses.
Yeah, Il Pizzaiolo, I believe. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Ron's great.
Papa J's did really well too, though.
They did, yeah.
That was a big one for us.
But and just like how we were saying, everything evolves. Like Jimmy Big Muscles, that account is growing into being. I'm doing more stuff than just Italian things. I mean, this isn't Italian, and we're
far
here.
From it, actually.
Yeah,
like chicken fingers and French fries over here. Burger. I literally just had a burger.
I heard Elena make fun of you before Papa J's, but she was saying like, "Oh, you don't fit." And I was like, "All right, that's a little harsh."
She's just mean.
It's a little harsh.
Mean. This is like so much more caring. This podcast. I'm not getting ridiculed or made fun of.
So yeah, as that evolves too, and it's like I'm also evolving the marketing agency, because now that I am doing this full time, I wouldn't want to take on businesses before I was able to give them like my full attention, and but now since I'm completely focused on this, I'm bringing on new clients, and it's awesome. It's awesome to be able to grow people's socials, because I mean, at the end of the day, I love helping small businesses too, and it's not just working with them, but it's a lot of fun working with them,
Yeah.
Like I love going down to Penn Mac. I'm down at Penn Mac all the time, and
we went with you.
Yeah. We stopped in, and it's like
tomatoes.
Yeah, and it's like you become friends with all the guys there, and it's a fun job. It's awesome. Cool. We make all this cool content together, and and it's great whenever you get a post. Like we made one post down there, and they were making like some sausages in the back. Our guy Frank was making sausages, and you know, we got a video of that. We highlighted that. It got up to, I think now it keeps growing, but I think it's probably higher than this, but it's around like 4 million views. You know, so it's awesome to make content, and then, you know, you kind of gain confidence in yourself too. Sure. You're like, because if you already have a profile that you grew, you could say like, well, now I'm making content because I already have so many followers. But then if you're able to replicate that over and over and over again, it's like, okay, you got, it's like,
I could see how that's a double-edged sword, right? Like you want the confidence to like do things that you want to do and put yourself out there. But when it doesn't hit, I do see and read and hear, like being in the media and marketing and sales space, like I do hear how that's like crushing to some people. Like they throw it out there like, wait, I don't, what's wrong with me because I didn't get X amount of, and it's not like that. No. You know what I mean? So it's good to have the success, but like I was listening to one of Gary Vaynerchuk's, it's either a book or a podcast, one of his things that he wrote, but it was like, you know, he doesn't get high on the compliments and he doesn't get low on the negatives. Like if you really need people to like and view and stuff like that, and when you don't get it, that can be tough.
Oh yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like, but whenever you get to that point where you're like, okay, yeah, you got a good video that blew up. Sometimes if you only got one video that blew up and that's all you did, and you're not going to make it again because you don't think that other video is going to blow up, it's better to have a bunch of small videos that just got a little bit. Yeah. But over the span of time, you know, at the end of the day, social media is it's a consistency game. Yeah. And you have to be consistent with it.
It's a new game that's evolving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people think like they don't understand how much, like even our little production, like it costed a lot of money. Like I was lucky to have the capital to afford that. But then like it's a lot of work. Like, you know, and this isn't my full-time job. So like it's like finding the nights that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it takes a lot of work. It's not like, it's not easy to be a content creator. It's not like sticking it to the man and saying, I'm not going to work for a corporate job. I'm going to be on my own and I'm just going to travel and people are going to send me free shit. And like, it's not like that. You know, even the successful people, it's not like that.
Right. And like the free stuff, it's like whenever you're first starting off, free stuff sounds cool. But whenever you're paying bills with the with your marketing,
like, hey, can I pay my rent with a curling iron?
Yeah, it's like, oh, can you try out this new glass for us for free and make a video out of it? Like, well, I got a glass at least, I guess, but no. So, it's a consistency game, and like I said, you just gotta find your niche, I think. Yeah, and that's the same with businesses too. You know, I mean, you like Italian businesses, you know, there's obviously a niche for it, but restaurants have their niche. You know, like every business has somebody who are looking for it, and if you tap into that market for the people that are looking for it, it's awesome. You know?
Well, once you find your niche, you know your customer. Right. And then as long as that market is big enough to be successful and sustain, then you're onto something. Yeah, whether it be content creation, a salon, spa, technology company, what doesn't matter, restaurant. So, as to wrap up the marketing agency, if there's a business out there that kind of wants to learn more about how they can grow their social accounts, or kind of just like they might be doing it themselves, they might have a young relative kind of taking on the responsibility, but they're like, it's just not working out. We want to kind of explore other options. How could they reach you? What could you do for them? Kind of like talk about that.
Yeah, so you guys could just either go to any of my, go to Instagram. That'll probably be easiest. And you could either just DM me there, or you could email me. Everything just easy. It's under all Jimmy Big Muscles. That's the Instagram. For email, it's just jimmybigmuscles@gmail.com. So shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to stop out and, you know, sit down with you guys, go over a few plans, like see what we can do, and how we're gonna grow. And I mean, every and I say this too, it's like some people, they want like a specific I mean, I could give it to people if they want like a specific thing laid out, but I like to sit down and figure out, because every business is going to be a little different of our approach. For sure. And everybody's going to have a different plan at the end of the day, because something that works for one business isn't necessarily going to work for the other, and you you got to change and figure out what's going to work best for them. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. So we touched on the cooking, touched on the marketing, and we touched on the DJ. So we kind of hooked everything up. I mean, you were by far the best co-host I've ever had.
Well, thank you.
So
no, it's great being on these podcasts. I think my podcast skills have gotten a little bit better. I mean,
you do great.
Yeah, I remember the first podcast I was ever on was in New York, and it was on Growing Up Italians podcast, and I remember that first one. I did good. It's not like I did bad on it, but I remember I was sitting there. I was like, okay, what do I say next? but it's a little bit of a skill that you have to develop talking on a podcast.
It's funny that you say that because like I'm not that type of I couldn't do that. Like I'm just like I'm just talking. We're talking right now. Like there's no prep. Like you saw, I got stuck in an hour and a half traffic. I was an hour late to meet you. We downed 2 drinks, ate a quick burger, and then popped in here. Like there was no prep. But Elena, like she just waits. She has like questions in her head. She's like, I'm waiting. It's my turn. Let me ask you. So like that's kind of like, but that is like what your progression is like just be in the moment. Like it's not that big a deal. Like you can talk to people. You know what I mean? Like
and I think that's what the most important thing is with anything. You know, just going with. Especially with podcasts. I was saying with everything, okay, maybe don't go that far into the moment. But yeah, no.
Big muscles.
No, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I
so
like it.
niche down.
Yeah.
Be real. Be authentic. Be in the moment.
And eat good pasta.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah,
One of these episodes we do have to do like a cook with you. Since I
100%.
get shit on every time we talk about Italian food, I stick out. Like maybe you could like show me how to cook something.
Oh yeah, anytime.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll cook some good food and go through one of the recipes. I have some recipes that are pretty secret though. Wow. Or no, I have one recipe that's secret.
Wow.
And it's not secret, but like
I
don't want to give it out because.
So like
I'm very protective over one
we were
specific
about to wrap.
Recipe.
We got to touch on this. So like we're gonna see the sun come up. So like, is this like a dish like you would make and bring it? Like, oh my god, like tell me what you made. You're like, fuck no.
No. I'll tell people how to make it. It's I just don't push it that much on social media because I know there's people that can make it. You know, there's good chefs out there to make it, but so I don't want to put it super like out there. But like, yeah, I'll make it for my friends because like if people want to make it, I'm like, all right, you could try to make it, but it's not gonna taste the same.
And like, let's say like I made some like amazing dish, and like they were like, oh my gosh, Bryan, like what was that? I would forget to tell them like 1 or 2 ingredients, so I know it wouldn't be as good as mine. I'm like, oh, well, it was good, but it was like it wasn't Bryan's. Like I would totally. That's the type of person I am. Yeah. But I'll
be real though. I feel like, everyone says, oh, they're like my family's secret recipe. My family doesn't have any secret recipes. You can go on my TikTok and watch a recipe for all the food that my nanny makes. There's no secret recipes. And to me, I'm like, why would, I wouldn't want to hide anything. Even
we kind of covered down the Papa J's one. Like it's more about like sharing and like.
Yeah, there's no reason to hide anything except that one specific one.
Well, I want to try it. Like, you don't have to tell me what's in it. I'm sure I can't make it, but I want to try it. Cool, awesome. Well, I can't wait to turn the camera off so I can hear what dish this is. But so
maybe that's what we'll make in our podcast.
Yeah, that'd be good. But we have to put
like
all blurred.
A censorship over. It's like put the
hell are you making?
in here.
We're already doing a podcast in the dark. So say your Instagram one more time. So you have a couple, but like two
that.
That's a couple.
Yeah, it is a couple.
Fact check.
Yeah, that's true. So Jimmy Big Muscles for all the content, food, recipes. If you guys are looking for marketing right now, Jimmy Big Muscles, and then anything music-wise for DJing, that's all under DJ Jimmy 412 for Instagram.
Cool.
And then the email for DJ Jimmy is just djjimmy.booking@gmail.com.
Cool. Go through social. It's easier.
It's easy. Just go Instagram, and that's easy.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure. Cheers. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for listening on the podcast. This is the UnPack Pittsburgh Podcast. Thanks for listening.